viewers of Republic TV. It's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, NECC, Century Ply and Epson Eco Tank Printers in partnership with Mind Super App and beyond.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Barack Obama, joining the Tukre Tukre Brigade, says that he fears that at some point of time India will break apart. And the Tukre Tukre Brigade in India stands up and gives him a standing ovation. They love Obama. They agree with his assessment that India will break apart. Now, these are the same people, remember, viewers, who a few weeks back had gone abroad outside the country and said, foreign forces need to intervene in India because we can't win an election. Help us win an election was effectively what they said. Ladies and gentlemen, they love Obama. They say that Obama is concerned about Muslims being targeted. Well, I didn't hear them say anything when 72 bombs on an average went off in Muslim nations, and each one of those bombs was dropped by a man called Barack Obama. If there is one man in the world who has the most number in recent years of deaths of innocent Muslims on his hands, that person is the bloodthirsty Barack Obama. Countless number of Muslims, innocent Muslims in Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya died. At that time, the entire world said that he should be sensitive. He should be concerned about the human rights. But no, at that point of time, Barack Obama, bloodthirsty as he was, hypocritical as he was, couldn't care less. For him, the deaths of innocent Muslims was collateral damage. He kept killing them in Yemen, in Somalia, Libya, Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one man who now says he's concerned about Muslims. Well, 26,171 bombs were dropped by Barack Obama on Muslim nations. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tukre Tukre lobby in India doesn't understand history. They don't have loyalty for the country. Otherwise, why would it be, ladies and gentlemen, when 1,190 non-combatant Muslims were killed in Iraq and Syria, this same Tukre Tukre cabal in India did not speak a word, did not question Barack Obama? What more do I have to bring before you to prove, ladies and gentlemen, that all that this shameless Tukre Tukre group does is hold on to the coattails of a cheap instigator like Barack Obama and use his words to attack their own country? Ladies and gentlemen, they didn't utter a word then. They didn't question one of the 542 drone strikes then. They will not ask a single question now. Ladies and gentlemen, from South Philippines right down to Iraq, Yemen and Somalia, no person has killed as many Muslims as Barack Obama. Now he says, I'm concerned about Muslims. What a hypocrite he is. What a cheap instigator Barack Obama has become in his retirement. But the biggest tragedy is that whether it is Obama or the Vadra Congress or Owaisi, the agenda is to incite Muslims in India. That's their only single point agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, let's debate. The chief instigator, Barack Obama, says India is going to break up. And we're taking him on debate number 1 tonight. Debate number 2. Is Putin looking weak? Will he be able to hit back? Has his Achilles heel been exposed? That's debate number 2 after the dramatic events with the Wagner Group over the weekend. And here are the headlines this Monday evening on the debate tonight.
6 देशों के खिलाफ जहां मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन डोमिनेंट है, बॉम्बिंग हुई उन्हीं के कालों में। सीरिया से लेकर के, यमन के लेकर के, सऊदी के लेकर के, इराक के लेकर के बॉम्बिंग नहीं हुआ।
The government gives it back to instigator Obama on his comments on minorities and India breaking apart, reminds him of the numerous Muslim nations and innocents that he has bombed and killed during his tenure. Questions on the hypocrisy of Obama. Is Obama trying to incite Muslims in India? 12 bunkers destroyed, 6 mortar shells recovered more than 1.5 months later. No end to the violence in Manipur. Peace brokered for now, but questions over Putin. Is the Russian president looking very weak in the face of rebellion? Reports suggest Russian agencies investigating the role of the Western special services in the rebellion are on the doors of Moscow. Is Nawaz Sharif making a political comeback in Pakistan? Big buzz over secret meeting in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, the former US President Barack Obama went on to speak about Muslim minorities in India in an interview to a Western media channel. He said India can break apart. What was he doing? He was simply engaging in the cheap politics of incitement. And a motivated echo chamber within has decided to amplify and create further incitement and insecurity. But tonight, this cabal must explain their double standards. Ladies and gentlemen, let's debate.
The former United States president was clearly gaslighting, suggesting that if India continued to treat its Muslim minorities the way it was, the country might pull apart. Is it not a direct attack on territorial integrity of India, suggesting that there might be another partition? Ironically, by a man who as president attacked 7 Muslim nations in his last 6 years.
राष्ट्रपति जी ने कुछ बातें बोल रहे हैं जहां शायद 6 देशों के खिलाफ जहां मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन डोमिनेंट है, बॉम्बिंग हुई उन्हीं के कालों में। सीरिया से लेकर के, यमन के लेकर के, सऊदी के लेकर के, इराक के लेकर के बॉम्बिंग नहीं हुआ। 7 कंट्री के खिलाफ उसी समय झगड़ा, वॉर लाइक सिचुएशन डेवलप हुआ और more than 26,000 bombs were dropped.
Obama tried to present a doomsday situation about minorities in India. Just in 2016, Obama dropped an average of 72 bombs every day. That's 3 every hour in Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, and Pakistan. In 2011, Obama began a brutal assault on Libya, killing as many as 395 innocent civilians.
We struck regime forces approaching Benghazi to save that city and the people within it. We hit Gaddafi's troops in neighboring Ajabia, allowing the opposition to drive them out. We hit Gaddafi's air defenses, which paved the way for a no-fly zone.
In 2013, Syria, where Sunni Muslims are dominant, a single strike killed 47 Muslims, half of whom were little children.
After careful deliberation, I determined that it is in the national security interests of the United States to respond to the Assad regime's use of chemical weapons through a targeted military strike. The purpose of this strike would be to deter Assad from using chemical weapons.
As president, Obama's first strike on Yemen killed 55 Muslims, including 21 children, 10 of which were under the age of 5 and 12 of whom were women.
Throughout the region, we will have to respond to the calls for change. In Yemen, men, women, and children gather by the thousands in towns and city squares every day with the hope that their determination and spilled blood will prevail over a corrupt system.
Most in America have distanced themselves from Obama's statement.
I think the former president should spend his energy complimenting India more than criticizing India. India is the most diverse country in human history. It's not a perfect country, just like the United States is not a perfect country, but its diversity is its strength.
But a politically motivated lobby within is determined to incite.
अगर अमेरिका ने अपने हित में या देश के हित में किया है तो माइनॉरिटी पे नहीं, उस देश पर, उस देश के सैनिकों पर हमला किया होगा। अरे माइनॉरिटी तो वो हिंदुस्तान में जो जुल्म आपकी सरकार ढा रही है, जिस तरह से उनके अधिकार छीन रही है, बात उसकी की थी ओबामा साहब ने।
What Obama said, that is correct thing. There India minorities are under attack politically, economically, socially, ideologically.
The Prime Minister has already set the record straight.
Prime Minister, India has long prided itself as the world's largest democracy, but there are many human rights groups who say that your government has discriminated against religious minorities and sought to silence its critics.
मुझे आश्चर्य हो रहा है कि आप कह रहे हैं कि लोग कहते हैं नहीं, भारत डेमोक्रेसी है। भारत और अमेरिका दोनों के डीएनए में लोकतंत्र है। लोकतंत्र हमारा स्पिरिट है, लोकतंत्र हमारी रगों में है, लोकतंत्र को हम जीते हैं और हमने सिद्ध किया है डेमोक्रेसी कैन डिलीवर। और जब मैं डिलीवर कहता हूं तब कास्ट, क्रीड, रिलीजन, जेंडर, किसी भी भेदभाव को वहां जगह नहीं होती है। और जब हम लोकतंत्र की बात करते हैं तब अगर ह्यूमन वैल्यूज नहीं है, ह्यूमैनिटी नहीं है, ह्यूमन राइट्स नहीं है, फिर तो वो डेमोक्रेसी है ही नहीं।
The pro-democracy brigade must check their hypocrisy. Let's debate.
On the debate this evening, we have Kartikeya Tanna, Sushil Pandit, Shubhrashta, Asif Bamla on one side, Lokesh Jindal of the Congress on the other, Waris Pathan of the MIM, Tala Amar Rashidi, and Saira Shah Halim. I don't think it is necessary to always join hands with those who are speaking against India. Atik, this becomes a bad habit. A bad habit. Only in this case, Lokesh, since the Congress party has joined hands with Barack Obama, would you ever ask him how many Muslims he killed? Or will you join hands with anyone? For whatever purpose, as long as it is working against national interest, do you have to make it so open?
What have we become? What are we becoming? There is a...
You're becoming anti-India by nature.
Vinashkal viparita buddhi. When somebody is showing us the mirror, when somebody is pointing our flaws to us, we start gaslighting the entire scenario. We want to prove that, okay, we are not at fault anywhere. The person himself is guilty of his own doing. What has Mr. Obama got to do with what is happening in India? He is simply pointing us our own flaws. A mature government would have taken due cognizance that why is it that our ranking in the press freedom index is deteriorating. Globally, our image is deteriorating. We are no more a secular, tolerant, plural, political society. And the worst is, how can you forget the Nupur Sharma incident? How can you forget the manner in which Halal incident, the entire year of 2022 was witnessing communal riots all over the country? Isn't that going to damage India's reputation? If you think that despite such a turbulent year, despite the Prime Minister maintaining complete silence, not coming out, asking the people to maintain some form of social harmony, if the international diaspora, if international community, foreign powers are not watching and they are not making up their mind, they are not commenting about India, I'm sorry, you are gravely mistaken. Internationally, our image is getting destroyed.
Are they fools?
Sir, we are all Indians. I am as much of Indian as you are.
You don't acknowledge your president. You don't acknowledge your own country's prime minister. That's not the case globally. He is the most liked
But
prime
don't you think the prime minister is also supposed to acknowledge the citizens who made him the prime minister?
You should be ashamed. You should have started with congratulating the prime minister for the highest civil award that the honorable prime minister got in Egypt. You should have started with congratulating the honorable prime minister getting the highest civil award by Iraq.
When the Indian citizens
Asif,
made the prime minister,
why? I would like some time. Arnab, I would like the other person to be muted. Tell me, why are we taking Barack Obama's statement so seriously? Let us take the statements of the current president in more serious spirit. We saw in the open press conference where the honorable prime minister said that India. Please wait up.
No. I think it is.
Listen to me. Arnab,
I think one Asif, a minute. Asif.
No, I'm not getting a minute.
Something very important is happening tonight, Asif. Let me put it in context. Let me put it in context. Asif, let me put it in context. Let me explain to you what is happening. Till today, many people felt that the Congress party has a tukre agenda. Today, Subrashta, by saying,
I'm a Muslim.
No, but by saying, one may Asif, by supporting Barack Obama when he says that India at one point will break apart, the Congress party has officially announced that it is for the breakup of the country.
Arnab, give me 30 seconds.
By even thinking about that possibility. What a shame.
Give me 30 seconds.
What a shame.
Give me 30 seconds. Arnab, give me 30 seconds before you get anybody else, please. Arnab, give me 30 seconds.
Hell-bent upon gaslighting and creating a false narrative.
We understand.
We understand. Our nation?
My friend, let me speak for 30 seconds. Arnab, we understand the European countries are insecure because India is the 4th largest military power in the world, the 5th largest economy, which is going to be 3rd in few years from now. So this is the fear of the European. I understand, but what is the fear of the fear of the opposition in India?
Why are you committing an error?
Why are you all cherry picking?
Do you really want India to become such a megalomaniac society?
Okay, one minute. If you, 1 minute, Lokesh, thank you very much. Put the fader down. And Subrashta is on the debate and Atik is on the debate. Let me get the others also in. Let me get in Sushil Pandit and Subrashta. Let me get in Sushil Pandit and Subrashta. Let me get in Atik and Tala Amar Rashidi. And what has been said here is very serious. What is said here is very serious. A former American president says that there is a strong possibility that India will pull apart, which means he's saying, Sushil, that India will break apart. He's saying that India will break apart. This is an attempt to incite Muslims in India. Yes, and to provoke and to directly provoke. Now I can understand a foreigner provoking and saying India will break apart. But when Indian politicians and the Congress party says, we agree that India will break apart or can break apart, even the thought that they can take such a position, it is no different from the incitement during CAA. At that point of time, people had said, in the next 10 days, there will be 5,000 Shaheen Baghs, we'll block all the roads. They incited after the Ayodhya verdict. At every point of time, but this is too brazen, Sushil. This is far too brazen. It is far too open. This joining of hands which we suspected with the comments of Rahul Gandhi in the UK have been confirmed with this official support to the tukre position of Barack Obama. Sushil.
I completely agree. I wish we could see it differently. But let me put it in perspective. Arnab, admittedly, Obama is a liberal, a very proud liberal. And as you delineated at the very beginning of the show, hypocrisy is at the very core of being a liberal. Liberals are often in breach of what they preach. And his conduct during his presidency is the evidence. He came to office promising end to war. He spent both his terms fighting the wars. You can say that he inherited some of them, but he created new ones instead of ending the old ones. He created Libya, he created Syria, he created Yemen. His drones attack never stopped, killing civilians along with the so-called militants. And worst, the pinnacle of his hypocrisy was Guantanamo Bay, which was the epitome of his commitment on human rights, on rule of law and justice. This man continued with Guantanamo Bay at the same degree, at the same level. Forget that. He couldn't even save his own school children who were killed by scores every month, every section, every direction, every geography of United States of America. You had shootings in the school. He did not amend a single portion of his gun laws. People were running mad across America, killing hapless, defenseless children.
So,
but he has taught us some very good principles.
No. So you know, I feel the true test. I feel the true test. The true test. No, Sushil, I feel the true test of Mir Jafars are people, Subrashta, who join hands with foreign countries to break their own country, and that is what the Congress party has done, and that is no, they've seen an opportunity in this, Subrashta.
Arnab, may I come in?
No, Atik,
Arnab,
let Subrashta come in, and after that,
for the Congress party to support Obama or any foreign voice which talks about minority rights in the country is understandable. Rahul Gandhi's fight from Amethi, his debacle, and then his shift to a constituency which is predominantly a Muslim-dominated constituency, and the kind of narratives that go on in Kerala, we don't need to go deep into that. My problem is with the liberal intellectuals of this country who see through the politics of it, but yet go ahead and support Barack Obama's stand on it. I don't have any hopes from the Congress party. Because I don't have any hopes from the Congress party, I have hopes from the liberal intellectuals of this country. Or perhaps I should not. But it's our agenda, and it should be our agenda, to keep exposing the deep-seated rot that exists in the liberal intelligentsia of this country. What right does Barack Obama have to pontificate on the Indian situation is again a secondary concern. By what logic do people in our own country go ahead and support Barack Obama is a separate question altogether, which needs due conversation. I don't understand why Saira Shah Halim would do that. I really don't understand the agenda behind that.
There can be different reasons.
Because
let me hazard a guess.
She comes from minority.
I'm not making a comment on Saira, but let me hazard a guess, Subrashta. I am equally perplexed, by the way. I'm equally perplexed. But Saira, before you come in, and I wouldn't say, I'm not talking about you, Saira, so don't jump into what I'm about to say. She says, why do people take such a position? It could be desperation. We are going to be out of power. What do we do? We have to hang on. We have to seek validation from people like Barack Obama. Second, could be Atik inferiority complex. You know, anybody who is an American should preach at us, and we should accept it gratefully. Third could be denial, because Atikur Rahman does not have the guts to ask Waris Pathan when he says hum 15 crore hai aur 100 crore par bhari rahenge. He says that is a very secular comment. He says this is the new wave of secularism in this country. That he calls secular. But the reality is, these are the people, don't forget Subrashta, who incited after the Ayodhya verdict. These are the same people who want to pit one community against the other. They say all minorities, all SC, ST backwards are feeling like second-grade citizens in their country. These are the opportunists. History will not forgive them.
Okay.
Let me correct you.
No,
It was in
Lokesh, if you want to
1971
position yourself as a Muslim party, if you want to position yourself as a Muslim party,
As early as
Subhash and Lokesh are on the debate.
They don't have to
Get your
project
history
us.
right.
They are
It was Congress union by the
Arnab,
US
Arnab, can I
in
come in now?
1971.
Can I come in?
We told them. We
Listen,
told them about
Congress
them.
These are the same set of
We never
people
let our
who
nation
1 minute, 2 at a time,
Delhi
please.
Whatever foreign
riots
country it
as
is.
early
But over
as
here,
the last
what Mr.
assembly
Barack Obama is
elections.
saying is something that is worrisome. We must all take due cognizance.
What
we
you
must
need,
all duly consider it.
You are by this.
Why
I'll
are
tell you,
you hell
Lokesh.
bent upon,
Take cognizance of what Barack Obama
Lokesh,
says.
completely,
1 minute, 1 minute. Lokesh, a minute, please. Lokesh.
I'd like to come in.
His credibility.
Saira,
You want to see
Saira, 1 minute.
Can I come in now?
Saira, just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, we'll get Saira's response, then I'll go to John. Yeah. Yes, Saira. Can I have Saira come in on the debate with Karthik? Yeah, thank you.
Let us not forget how the BJP was gloating about the camaraderie between Mr. Modi and Obama. Mr. Modi himself said, my good friend, Mr. Obama is so concerned about my sleep and my sleeping pattern. He's asked me about my sleeping pattern. Do I rest? Do I get adequate rest? Let's not forget the camaraderie and the born homie in those days, 2016. And here we are talking about bombs in other countries. Why aren't we addressing the bulldozers?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Saira, thank you for your intervention, but I'm going to Karthik now.
We are talking about Libya.
And 1 minute.
Where was this channel when Libya was being bombed? Where was this channel when Syria was being bombed?
In
Where
India.
was this channel? Today you are running this that Obama bombed 7 countries. Why didn't you run this show that time when these nations were being bombed? Where was your conscience then? Where was this channel's conscience then when these countries
No, but
were
where
bombed?
were you then?
Today,
Where were
Mr.
you? We were
Obama,
here, but where were you,
who is
Saira? Where were you? 1 minute. Saira, volume down. I'll ask you. Saira, you're such a communal person. You're such a fanatic person. You are such a fanatic person. You are an intellectual hypocrite. I ask you this today. Where were you? Where were you? Saira, don't shout.
These 7 countries were bombed.
Yes, where were you? Where were you?
Why did your program
Where were you? You
run
won't get
the
an
show
American
when these
visa if
7
you question
countries
them.
were bombed?
Where were you?
Why were you gloating
Where
about
you are an
the
activist?
friendship?
Where were you?
Why were you gloating
Baba,
about
where
the
were you? I was
friendship
not
between
gloating, but
Mr.
where were you?
Obama
Where were you?
and Mr. Modi, where were you? Where were you? I was writing. You were gloating.
I don't know where you were.
Gloating. Mr. Akshay Kumar
Show me a
had taken
single
an
comment
interview,
you made on it.
Of Mr. Modi, and Mr. Modi was gloating about Obama.
Did you ever say?
Absolutely.
Did you ever
BJP
say?
was
1 minute, just 1 minute.
all over-
Sarah, I'll have to
all
lower
over
your
Mr.
fader
Obama.
now because you're not
Talking
stopping.
about his sleeping
Either you
pattern,
stop on your own,
talking about,
or I'll have to lower your fader. Okay, you're forcing me to. You're forcing me to. Karthik is on the debate, but before that, Karthik, I have Johnny Moore. Can Saira just? Saira, thank you. I have Johnny Moore on the debate. Now, he is a former commissioner for the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Johnny has taken on Obama. Johnny, you heard what Obama said. First of all, why is he saying it? A. And what is his intention in that? Is this just a passing comment, or is it more than that?
It's a curious question, isn't it? I mean, I actually am a preacher. Okay, I'm a reverend, and I don't think it's for political leaders, certainly not former presidents of the United States, who have the cell phone numbers of every leader in the planet to be causing division. I mean, that's exactly what this was. And it's one thing if the comment was a little more nuanced, but it wasn't nuanced at all. I mean, for the former president to imagine a time when India could fall apart, that is a really, really extraordinary comment, and he's too smart of a leader to have not known exactly what he was saying. And if he didn't mean what he said, he should clarify his statements. But I don't know anybody who could have any other any other reasonable point of view than India's democracy is pretty strong. I mean, we just saw it in this debate. on this very program, most countries around the world, you don't have robust debates with all those different points of view as you're having right here on Republic. This is the strength of the democracy. I always say with India, it's like the more vibrant the discussion is, the stronger the democracy gets. It doesn't weaken the democracy. It's like fire on metal. It just makes it stronger. And so I don't know what he was thinking, but I was certainly surprised by the timing of the comment.
No, I think you can express concern, etc. The second part of the comment, which was very worrying. If as a former American president he is saying, and Lokesh, hear me, and Atala, Amir, everyone needs to understand, I'll put you in the middle, Johnny, I'll have the political panelists on both sides. If today a former American president goes on record saying and almost wishing that India breaks apart, then it amounts to open incitement against my nation. It is like saying, today we know there is so much violence against black Americans. Will Obama say that America will break apart? Will he call for black Americans to shoot back at the police? Will Obama lead or incite violence following George Floyd's death due to racist policing? He won't. There's a sense of responsibility. So he's playing to some gallery out there, obviously, Johnny.
Exactly, Arnab, exactly.
He's playing to some strange gallery there, Johnny.
Well, I'll tell you, his view is not the view of the average American that was watching this visit, and what I've been telling to a lot of people, because this has become a global conversation, is that whether or not you voted for President Biden in the White House, or whether or not Prime Minister Modi was your preferred candidate in the Republic of India, every single Indian and every single American should be celebrating what we saw in Washington, D.C. over the last few days. We saw the oldest democracy in the world, the largest democracy in the world coming together, deciding to leverage our democracies to make the world a better place. That is an objective point of view. The fact that the debate is so vibrant, the fact that the politics are so alive in India, is a demonstration of the strength of democracy, a strength of the Indian democracy. It's a demonstration of the strength of American democracy. But frankly, I was surprised at the unity of Americans. In fact, when I had the opportunity to spend some time with the Prime Minister, and I told him, I thanked him. I said, you actually brought together Democrats and Republicans at an incredibly divided time. And the reason why is because there are plenty of people all around the world that want to degrade democracy, sometimes because they don't understand it, sometimes because they have other agendas.
Mr. Moore, can I ask you a question? Don't you think a democratic credential of a country depends upon the treatment meted out to its minority?
Which is exactly...
Right?
He's exposing himself, Karthik. One minute. Lokesh, I think Johnny got that. I think what's happening is, Johnny, let me tell you one thing. Lokesh, just take it easy for a while. Lokesh, I have a policy here. Lokesh, just one minute. I'm having a chat with him. Stop whining.
I do not think that nation qualifies as a democracy.
There is only one party which on the most watched program in the country will go openly, Karthik, cribbing and complaining and whining and instigating against their own country to a foreign citizen. Johnny is very kind, he's saying the right things, but he's still not an Indian. And that you are doing this to an American and whining and complaining is just like your leader going to America or going to the UK and say, America, help us, save us. Have some self-respect. Lokesh, have some self-esteem. For God's sake, don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself and the country with your pitiful conduct. Karthik, you got to stop this guy.
Indian citizens.
Did you cover 2020? You've spoken enough.
Happened in 2022?
Karthik, you got to intervene. This is just appalling. Appalling.
Now hear it.
Appalling.
The Saira's point, what she made was interesting because everyone makes the same point that what happened to the bonhomie between Mr. Obama and Mr. Modi. So Obama as president was probably sensible. But what happened after he changed his presidency? Obviously, something has changed, and Johnny's not able to figure it out. We're not able to figure it out. There are many conspiracy theories. But Obama's point was similar to
Lokesh, can you just chill for a minute, please? Can you let him complete?
Have some manners, Lokesh. Have some manners. Have some manners, my friend.
The problem is that today Obama is campaigning for his wife. The campaign for Michelle Obama has already started. He has to placate a particular lobby there in the US as well.
It's possible.
Please, let's also understand that it's not only domestic politics in India which is instigating Obama to make such comments. It's also domestic politics in America.
Arnab, yes, exactly.
Arnab, is, are we treating our minorities well?
Lokesh, 2 minutes. These people, Lokesh, Congress and rivals, they are clutching at straws, as one of your other panelists says. But even if Hafiz Saeed were to tomorrow say Indian Muslims are in danger, these people are going to give him a garland. Let's not kid ourselves. They are clutching at straws because they're desperate. They're desperate. And back to Obama's point. What was the problem with Obama's point? What was the problem with Obama's point?
One minute. Johnny, may I say this? 1 minute. We continue on the debate. One second, Karthik. I'm going to say goodbye to Johnny because, Johnny, I have a policy here. When we have a strong political debate in the country, right, we keep it within the two sides. But I thank you for your participation and for giving your point of view. I look forward to having you on future debates. Johnny Moore, thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me thank you for having me, and let me tell you that I am encouraged by the strength of the democracy in the Republic of India. Listening to this dialogue, it's Exhibit A why democracy is not on its twilight in the world. It's a new dawn, and there are great things ahead for the United States and our country. And there's a lot that all of us could learn from one another. Thank you very much for having me. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Atik, now you know what you guys need to do, as I thank Johnny there. Atik, what you guys need to do is learn a lesson. The way an American citizen came there and put you in your place. Please stop complaining about your country shamelessly.
You should have Lokesh out of the debate.
No, this is ridiculous.
This is what we say.
Lokesh, you should have shown some sanity.
Asif and Lokesh.
A white man. That is why you are simply coming out and saying that we must learn something from him.
You should have shunted Lokesh out of the debate for speaking in front of a foreign national. He had no shame.
And stop talking against the country to the Congress party, I'm telling you.
Spineless.
Stop ranting.
Stop speaking against the country all the time.
At least not in front of a foreign national.
Atikur Rahman is on the debate. Lokesh, I'm giving you a break for a while.
You who is speaking against the country.
Will the point of view of the Indian minorities be displayed now?
Artificial intelligence.
Asif, you had your turn, sir.
ये सब देखा नहीं जाता आप लोगों को, जतिक भाई।
Asif,
आप लोगों से ये सब MOU साइन हुए ना, ये सब जो देश तरक्की कर रहे हैं ना, ये जो देश तरक्की कर रहा है ना, ये आप लोग हजम नहीं कर पा रहे हो। क्यों? आपकी मेंटालिटी फ्यूडलिज्म की है, और अब तो अखिलियत भी समझने लगी है। अब तो अखिलियत भी समझने लगी है कि आप लोगों पर वक्त जाया करना बेवकूफी है। आज देश में स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन मिला हमारे पंतप्रधान को। आज 6 मुस्लिम देशों ने एक हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को हार्ट सिग्नेचर अवार्ड दिया है। आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए। आपको फख्र नहीं है, आपको फख्र नहीं है हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री पे। आपको फख्र होना चाहिए हमारे वजीर आजम पे कि उनको 6 मुसलमान देशों ने जो है नवाजा है, और हार्ट सिग्नेचर अवार्ड से सऊदी अरेबिया जो इस्लामिक कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड है, उन्होंने नवाजा है हार्ट सिग्नेचर अवार्ड से। और आप बेशर्मों की तरह बनाकर मैं भी एक मुसलमान हूँ, आप अकेले ने मुसलमानों की राइट्स नहीं ली है। हम भी मुसलमान हैं, हम भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी में हैं। और मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा एक मुसलमान होने के नाते, जो प्रधानमंत्री ने मुसलमानों के लिए पिछले बार जो उन्होंने हमारे कंट्री में
कुछ तो शर्म करो आसिफ भाई, एक वक्त था जब आप दिलीप कुमार साहब के साथ घूमा करते थे।
I'll tell you, Atikur Rahman, Waris Pathan is on the debate. 1 minute, I'll give you a break. Waris Pathan is on the debate. Waris Pathan debate में है। आसिफ बामला जी 1 मिनट। आसिफ बामला जी 1 मिनट। ये वारिस पठान हमारे साथ है आज। I would like to ask Waris Pathan. Waris Pathan, the Prime Minister has just completed a very successful trip to Egypt, which is a very prominent Muslim nation. Right? Now you need to understand, people like you, Waris, what ideology, what thinking, what approach to life do you represent? You say, hum 15 log, what does he say? Hum 15 crore, Sushil he says, hum 15 crore, 100 crore pe bhari honge. है ना? And what he has to tell.
His leader says,
allow me to make my point.
No, 1 minute. I want to tell you.
Arnab, we are also happy. We also want the relationship between the United States and India must grow, and we are happy to that. But the Prime Minister goes there and says that there is sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas, sabka prayas. There is no religious discrimination in my country. But yesterday in Maharashtra BJP,
despite you, it is there.
Young Muslim boys were mobbed in the name of cow smuggling, and one of them is died. So where is the religious discrimination? What Barack Obama said in 2015, Modi invited Barack Obama in the first visit to India. That time he was very happy.
Kartik.
Now when Barack Obama said the ethnic minority and the Muslim minority in the country must be protected,
sir.
Fail. What wrong has happened?
No one is denying. It is no one's case that there are no incidents. It is no one's case
to make a statement.
No one's case that there are no incidents that happen, both on the Hindu side as well as the Muslim side. What Obama said,
does not have time
there was
for
something systematically wrong in our governance model.
Staying in Egypt, Iran and UAE. What has the Indian Muslim got to do? What has the Indian Muslim got to do with the Muslims of Iran, Egypt, Iraq? What have we got to do?
Stop complaining to the rest of the world. Waris Pathan, Asif Subrashta is taking you on. And 1 minute, Waris, take a break now. The question is, the 1 minute, Waris. 1 minute, Waris, first be quiet. First be quiet, Waris. Stop shouting. First you be quiet.
What has that done for that?
What is the entire world, the entire Muslim world, I have good news for you.
And now you want to say about
Waris, I want to tell you something. First of all, don't shout. I'm talking to you.
6 awards have been given to the Prime Minister. I know that. What have we got to do with the Muslims? We have to.
Okay, why not 6, 7? Why have 7 of the most prominent? Why have 7 of the most prominent Muslim nations in the world honored Prime Minister Modi?
Prime Minister not hug me.
Why is the United Arab Emirates investing in Kashmir? Are you unhappy with that? Why is the United Arab Emirates investing so much in Kashmir?
To go to Hakim Mosque. Why does the Prime Minister not go to the Indian Mosque? Why does the Prime Minister not visit the Indian mosque? Are there not lovely mosques in India? That is why the Prime Minister loves to hug foreign NRI Muslims having Prime Minister visit an Indian mosque?
Okay. You tell me, I want to understand this logic. Why should the Prime Minister visit a mosque necessarily?
Tell him to at least hug them.
No, what are you trying to prove?
Not hug the Indian Muslims, I'm asking you that. Mr. Arnab Goswami, he is the Prime Minister of India, not of Egypt. He is the Prime Minister of India. He should at least hug Indian Muslims wearing dadi and topi, visit the places who have been mobbed by the Gaurakshak, hug those fathers having dadi and topi.
Are Dawoodi Bohras not Muslim?
He wants to go to Egypt, UAE.
Are Dawoodi Bohras not Muslim? You forgot what the Prime Minister said at the function of the Aligarh Muslim University. The Prime Minister does not speak your divisive and radical language. Your entire politics is Hindu versus Muslim, Waris. And today you don't get 500 votes for it. That's the reality. You cannot win a local election today.
I got 32,000 votes. I won. Second time.
Waris Pathan asks, why doesn't the Prime Minister visit Indian mosques?
Audio is gone.
My question to him is, why should an Indian Prime Minister visit any mosque if he is not a practicing Muslim?
Subrashta, louder.
He is a practicing Hindu. He visits visits temples. And let me ask you a counter question. Would you or your supreme leader ever go to Ayodhya and pray to Ramlala? If you will not, then what right do you have to expect a Hindu politician to go to and visit an Indian mosque, and that to the Prime Minister of this country? Where are your secular credentials when you even ask that question? It's a communally divisive question, Mr. Varis Pathan, and your agenda is exposed. You say you shouldn't have a problem. You say we shouldn't have any conversation about Muslim nations in this country.
What was the need for him to visit a mosque in Egypt? When he can't visit a mosque in India, what was the need for him to visit a mosque in Egypt? He can visit all the mandirs throughout the India, but he cannot visit a mosque in India. But he can visit a mosque in Egypt. If he is a Hindu, if you are defending that he's a Hindu, so he cannot visit a mosque. What was the need for him to visit a mosque in Egypt? That is the question. Now the other thing is that
Arnab, he has visited the mosque in India in 2018. Sir, let me correct you right away. Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds. PM Modi has visited a mosque in Indore in 2018. Get your facts corrected. Prime Minister Modi has visited a mosque in 2018. You don't recognize the Bora community? You don't recognize the Bora community? Is that the case? You know, see, Arnab, we are veering the debate in a completely different direction. We are, sir, give me 1 minute. We are veering the debate in a completely different direction. We are taking the debate in a completely different direction. Here is the basic question. Is there anything in the governance policy of Mr. Modi and his government that discriminates against Muslims? There are obviously incidents that happen on both sides. Muslims also attack Hindus, also attack Muslims. For that we need a law and order. But in governance, is there any measure in governance that discriminates against Muslims? In fact, under Modi's leadership, minority scholarships has increased. It has gone twofold.
Talk about the tweet of the Chief Minister of Assam.
Is there anything?
What was the tone of the tweet of the Chief Minister of Assam?
Understand? I know common sense is a bit of a deficit with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, I need to adjust the audio there. Just 1 minute. Tala Amar Rashidi, Tala. Let me read out some of the tweets so you have some sense of how the people are responding to this. We have Hemangini Divecha who says Congress can stoop down to any level to harm Modi ji. Here you are. You see, that's the way people think, Lokesh. Shame on you. Shame on you. Absolutely. Upasana says, who is Obama to worry about our country? Shelley says it's an agenda-driven comment by Obama. India should buckle itself up. We have with us MD Kumar who says, mass murderer of Muslims is preaching to India. Hypocrite. Look, they're with you. You're going to lose the rest of the 5% votes which are remaining with you, Lokesh. Let me tell you, if that's your I am Modi. Totlani Krishnan says, what a strong response. Wow, that's the power and confidence of New India. Sham Kumar Saini says, those regained power and continued divide and rule policy even after independence on religious and caste lines must stop preaching. And Pawan Kumar Vishnoi says the Indian National Congress has become anti-India, firstly by endorsing Barack Obama, who has no locus standi, etc., etc. There you are, Lokesh. Lokesh. Yes, Lokesh.
Indian National Congress gave the very idea of India on which the democracy was cemented and strengthened. If there is one party which will stand for the idea of India, that is Indian National Congress. Till the time Congress is alive in India, the idea of India will be alive. The democracy will be alive.
Absolute rubbish.
Well. I don't think anybody in this country stands with you today.
Sir,
and by standing for Barack Obama, you lost the 5 votes that you had left. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other side, Russia seems to have handled the rebellion for now, but there is also a narrative being put in from Moscow that the Wagner Group has some kind of Western or American support. Is that true? We'll talk about that. Big debate on the other side on the story of the weekend.